The Great Reset stops here. The Charlie Kirk Show.
All right, welcome back to the Charlie Kirk Show. Okay, so I have to do the Rufo and Lomas bumper here.
Oh boy!
And I told you in the break, I just feel bad for Rufo, that he's just he's the bit player in this world you're creating.
That's okay, man. He'll recover. He'll recover.
We love Rufo. It's all right. It's all right. I'm just giving. I'm busting his chops, I think is one of these expressions that would work. Let's go ahead and play it. 4:32. Rufo and Lomas.
I think quietly, rational people are hoping that Trump solves their problem for them.
Yes. There's no conservative equivalent to Jimmy Kimmel on network television, and something needs to be done about that.
But I think the problem is related to trans ideology, and it is involved in online kind of communities, whether it's popular or not. That is a common denominator that I think has some causation.
Is America a force for good or a force for bad? Is the West a civilizational force for good or a force for bad? Do you believe in Bigfoot, Christopher Rufo?
That's great. No, yeah. Listen, I'm really excited about the show. I'm gonna be a subscriber. Absolutely, two great minds talking about the most important ideas.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, National Radio. In just 1 second. All right, welcome back to the Charlie Kirk Show. So. Lomez, Jonathan, Keeperman, where have you guys released an episode yet of Rufo and Lomez?
No, I think the first one's being released today. So
fantastic.
We've gone into the last week's news, all of, again, the psychodrama that's been going on. We try to unpack some of that, talk about some of the elections, talk about the death of Dick Cheney and kind of what that means in the trajectory of the right over the last 20 years. It will be a weekly show, actually twice weekly, once Friday, once Tuesday. Subscribe at YouTube, anywhere you get your podcasts, Blaze TV, Rufo and Lomez.
Rufo and Lomez. I'm genuinely excited about that clip. I wanna get to this Sydney Sweeney viral clip just because we've got four dudes. Makes sense, right? Let's go ahead and play. And by the way, she gets asked by, I guess it's GQ's Catherine Stoffel. And Blake, you're going to be the first one I throw to after this, so get ready. But she's asked, don't you think it was a bad idea for you to talk about genetic superiority because you're white? 426.
I mean, the president tweeted about the jeans ad, or Truth Socialed about the jeans ad, and that just seems to me like a very crazy moment for anyone, and I wondered what that was like.
It was surreal.
It was surreal. Mm-hmm. But the risk is that, there's a chance that somebody will get some idea about what you think about certain issues. Like, do you worry about that?
No.
The criticism of the content, white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Blake Neff, your take.
Man, I saw a line on it that was so great where there's so many layers of like feminine social engagement going on there. The interviewer, I want to give you an opportunity. I am kind of ordering you to say this, but I'm giving you an opportunity. I'm not understanding why you're not taking the opportunity. And then Sydney just effortlessly shooting it down. I am not equal to this level of social adroitness. I would die horribly in that situation, of course. But Charlie, Charlie obviously he was not he would weigh in on this. It was pretty funny. He liked to say yeah, she does have great genes, doesn't she? So he would sometimes find this very amusing in a detached sort of way. So I think he'd be chuckling at how this is playing out now, and he'd be proud because it does reflect. Even with the difficulties we had this week, there really is a positive vibe shift in America. Even though we had a bad midterm, it was partly because Democrats had to look around and say, we've got to give a heave-ho to a lot of this really bad cultural stuff. And we are in such a better cultural place than we were a year ago, than we were 5 years ago. And, that's why not even a year ago, this loser from The Guardian tried to dox our friend Jonathan.
That's
Instead, revealed that he is a beautiful man, and that man is going to now start his own show, and everyone's excited to watch it.
It's a resentment against the beautiful and good. We must protect Sydney Sweeney at all costs. Our beautiful Helen. I mean, the funny thing about this to me is that the underlying controversy here is that Sydney Sweeney is like implicitly acknowledging the existence of genetics. Okay, like the left wants to sort of present this idea that it's somehow like anathema, immoral. You know, it's a betrayal of our good senses.
White people aren't allowed to have that.
Yeah, you don't have genetics. We don't believe in genetics around here.
It kind of goes back to our other conversation about where the West decided it couldn't believe in itself. Like, white people aren't allowed to do basic things anymore. We're talking about beautiful men here, Sean Davis.
So glad I could be here for this discussion.
You get the final word, my friend.
You can't buy these jeans off the market. No,
Speaking of good jeans.
These come from God. What I love about that clip is that in just one screenshot, you don't even need to listen to it or watch it. One little snapshot of that, and you see the total destruction of the HR, Karen, HOA energy, the up-talking, the passive aggressiveness, the
tones,
the nitpicking, and then Sydney Sweeney's like, nah, I'm good. You can actually just not denounce people on command. It's true.
You can reject the premise.
You can just say no.
I agree with Blake. There are so many layers to that. So, like, I think you're a terrible person, and a lot of people do, but, like, do you think that you do? And it's like, there is so much going on there. And it was like, to Blake's other point, is like he just so incisively cut through it and just rejected the premise and said, I'm not playing your games, lady. The problem with this hour is it went way too quick. Hour 2 is going to be Blake Neff and I believe Mikey McCoy doing an AMA, Ask Us Anything. So if you are a part of members.charliekirk.com, you can send in questions. You're going to be asking them directly. You're going to be on air, members.charliekirk.com. We will be right back.